Back on Good Morning Football, Thursday night action just hours away right here on NFL Network. It is an AFC showdown with wild card at stake. Big stakes in this one. We'll break it down, but Will Selva has everything you need to know this morning out in the newsroom in Culver City, and I know you are very excited to hear our belief scales.
Absolutely. I can't wait for it. Just give me more. Give it into my veins. I want it all the time. Thursday, here we come. Now, will he or won't he? This is the question surrounding Patrick Mahomes' playing status Sunday against the Titans. Mahomes was a full participant in practice Wednesday. Now, this is a positive development. That being said, however, KC has not said that Mahomes will be the starter at Tennessee. In fact, the reigning MVP is hoping to return Sunday. Now, if he does, it would mark 24 days since he dislocated his kneecap. Remember, the initial timetable for his recovery was that he'd be out at least 3 games. So far, he has missed 2 games. Head coach Andy Reid provides the clarity.
He obviously wants to play. I mean, that's him. He's wanted to do that since 20 minutes after it happened. So, but we just got to see, not only today when he works, but how he wakes up with it in the morning. So, I just think it's day to day. We'll get both guys ready to go, and we'll like we did last week, and we'll take it from there. See how it all works.
Chiefs and Titans, not a rivalry, but Giants and Jets certainly is, and they'll renew it on Sunday. This will be the first meeting between a Giants and Jets quarterback who are both within their first 2 seasons in the NFL. Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones representing the future for the Battle of Gotham. Head coach Adam Gase is starting to get the meaning of this rivalry.
Something that probably didn't hit me really until I was here for a little bit of just kind of realizing 2 teams in the same city, kind of same stadium. You don't appreciate that when you're somewhere else until you're here, and then you kind of realize what kind of this having 2 teams in the same city in New York. It's different, and I could see why there's a rivalry there. So, but I think it's a cool game to be involved in. Now being here. And going against these guys and then playing them in the preseason and just and then knowing a lot of those guys over there, this will be a fun matchup.
And by the way, Giants defensive lineman Leonard Williams is expected to play his first game against the Jets. Williams is the only player to start for the Giants and Jets in the same season in NFL history. So that is weird to think of that, huh?
That's very weird. I love that those 2 are facing each other. Some call it the Snoopy Bowl. We call you the GOAT. Will Selva, thank you so much. It is the Giants and the Jets, as Will said, on Sunday. We hopped on the Daniel Jones hype train.
Sure.
A few weeks in, some of us, during the draft process. We also spent a large part of this offseason talking about how gangrene may take over the city. Whose future, though, now, since things did not go as planned for either squad, whose future is brighter?
It's brighter. What was the stuff in Chernobyl that burned and stuff? That was pretty bright, right?
Yeah.
You saw that, right?
Radioactive, yes.
I think the Giants, Saquon's 22, Daniel Jones is 22, and I look at Daniel, he hasn't looked great, but he looks like a rookie. He feels like his britches are a little too big for him. He shows flashes. He turns it over a lot. Fine. I tend to go with the Giants just because I think there's more of a calm there. We hear so many things about Gase and who he gets along with and where's he going. For all Pat Shurmur's faults, at least he seems to be a steady hand. And I think the finest gem in the whole thing, if you look at everybody involved with both teams, is Saquon, who, by the way, they took over Darnold. And it looks to be the right choice at this point, resoundingly. So it's not great. It's a little asteroidy, to use the thing we talked about at the table, but I'll go with the guys in blue.
I'm going with the Giants as well. I mean, as much as I can look at the pieces that they tried to put together, because let's just keep it real. This offseason, we all might have bought in on the hype train when it came to the Jets and the offense and when Gase was going to bring in the jerseys and Le'Veon Bell. They finally got all the pieces. But when it comes to what they do on the field, I've seen more glimpses of greatness with the Giants than I've seen with the Jets.
Yeah.
I mean, Daniel Jones had some moments, just like you mentioned. Ingram is a nice, talented, young, fast tight end. Then Golden Tate is just getting started. Not to mention Saquon is going to anchor everything.
Golden
So,
Tate's 30 years old. What are we talking about? The next future? Like, he's just getting started?
did you see the play the other day?
That's great, but like,
Did
we're talking about who's got that big long-term future? You're saying?
I don't care about long term. I'm
Yeah,
talking
I mean,
about right now.
it's great.
How long did they sign Golden Tate for?
A couple years.
Okay, then. So he's going to be around for the next few years.
This question.
He's going to help a young guy like Daniel
This question
Jones.
is tainted from the start because
Tell me.
you didn't include the Knicks, who are also terrible. These are two terrible
They're 1-9,
teams.
I think.
It's so hard to find positive in either one of these, and yet if you're looking at it, you say, all right, at least I know the Giants have a competent quarterback and some young offensive linemen and some young pass rushers. The Jets need to start all over again. Like
With Darnold, like all over?
Darnold, I think, is going to be okay, but the offensive line is old and weary and injured. They have no pass rushers. And you look at that roster, and it's like Joe Douglas, like, fix this. It's not going to happen overnight. I think the Jets are, we thought it might be overnight. Jets might be 1 to 2 years still, and I'm not sure Darnold has all the stuff around him to ever be successful with how bad that offensive line is and how horrible these losses have been.
We know he's talented. You're saying start over. That's easy to say. What needs to happen for you guys to pick the Jets in this question? None of you would have picked the Giants if we were talking about this in August. None of you.
No. Well, I think the Jets beat the Cowboys. That's a really impressive win.
What
They
do you have
deserve
to
credit
see
for
from
that.
Darnold the rest of the way?
Take care of the ball, not fall on your face. The Gase thing's interesting to me. And, like, Peter, that's the elephant in the room as far as I think you're concerned. Like, what's the deal with Gase?
With both coaches. I mean, the Giants fans are just as upset
The
with
Gase
Sherman.
one burns hotter.
Look,
You're saying hit the
first
reset.
year
Does that
guy.
mean Gase too? Hit the
He's
reset
a
with him?
first-year guy, and it has not gone well, but he's got a 5-year contract that's guaranteed, and his GM is his buddy that they just hired.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to pull the plug as much as the tabloids have had, but I don't know because I also don't think a lot of these coaches are. I don't think he's going to get fired in Miami. He got fired. So
Listen, they can only hear so many fire Gase chants at games, and it's starting to get louder and louder. And that heat, that heat on that seat, it gets hot.
it's fair. I think this year the coaching circle is as tenuous. I mean, you got one in Cleveland, you got two in New York. There's a lot of hot seats right now. The one in Atlanta, and I think as teams start falling out of the playoff pictures more and more, but Gase runs hot because of the way he handles the media and the way his history was.
Can
in
Gase get
Miami.
Le'Veon going? I haven't heard Le'Veon's name all year.
It's really hard when there's no people blocking for you, for the quarterback or the running back. When there's literally 1 second to do anything, it's hard to run an offense. That's the case, and they have nothing up front.
I think we'll learn a lot about both of these squads
Positive show
on
here.
Sunday here on the East Coast. No, we will learn. We'll learn, and we'll
hope
revisit
so.
this conversation at the same time next week.
Okay.
A guy who does want to be in the playoffs and
We
get
need some
far.
light, Kay. Give us some light. Here.
Cousins, right?
Hey!
The levity at the breakfast table.
That's what I was looking for. I was thinking Mahomes.
Can
maybe,
he
someone.
turn everyone into believers
Yes.
with a primetime win against the Cowboys on Sunday night? Peter, do you fail to understand that you and Kyle about Kirk Cousins is my favorite part of the
No,
show?
I've
this
noticed
season?
you picked up on that.
I love you two against each other.
What
on
time's
that.
Kirk Cousins' dentist appointment?
Hey,
At 2:30.
Are you still?